Mr. Russell Anderson. He is one of South Carolina's premier illusionists, and you are actually not a triple threat. You, I think, is what we would call a quadruple threat. Tell us your many talents and what makes you different as an illusionist.
Well, I would say one thing that makes me crazy different, I didn't get into magic until I was about 28 years old. Everybody tells a story about getting a magic kit for Christmas or something along those lines. And I wasn't that kid. I guess, to use your words, the quadruple threat came with the ballet and jazz and tap and things that I'd studied, and just using that to enhance the magic, to enhance the illusions. I was working for a theme park, trying to have a little bit of normalcy in marriage in the very beginning, and I blew out my ankle dancing. I was one of those guys that jumps up and touches his toes for absolutely no reason in the middle of a show. I was devastated. I was walking with a cane, with a limp, with all this craziness. It was actually a wonderful thing, hurting my foot, because it made me concentrate on other things. It made me concentrate on my solo show. I learned how to sew and all kinds of things with costumes and stuff like that while I was hurt. And I stumbled across the vault, the video vault, but this was the VHS vault. And there were magicians. And again, I wasn't big into magic yet. I really wanted to do it. I was talking to the guys that passed through the theme parks and the cruise ships and whatnot, but after watching a lot of these audition tapes is basically what they were. What we would call now a demo reel. And they're sending them in. And I watched some people that were famous before they were famous. So it was inspiring, because some of them were bad. And I imagine some of my first ones were really bad too. I looked at what they were doing and I kind of put my own ideas together, sketched some things out, went to the people that designed the sets and such and said, this is my idea. Help me draw it up so I can build it. And that's where I got started with illusions. And because I had the girls, danced with them, put them in a box, contorted them a little bit, right? And shoved some swords through it and some tubes through it, spun it around, and wow, people really liked it. So I like to hand these ropes out when I do this magic trick, and I take them back. So I have the short rope, I have the long rope, and I have this medium rope right here. So then we wave the magic hand around and make the ropes the same size. Those were the ropes. This is the short rope. This is the long rope, and this is the medium rope. So sometimes we stick that in our pocket, and then you guys, we just take these two ropes and we put them right together like that. And then just by putting them together, we take our magic scissors and we turn it back into the two ropes. So I like to talk to the audience and these different things that I'm doing. And well, you know, there's your misdirection, there's your sleight of hand. So we put it back together. But one thing I always tell people is that they've got to keep their eye on the end of the rope. So you have to know if the end of the rope is right there or if it's right there. You have to know, see, that's the smile, right? You have to know if the end of the rope is right there, or as I squeeze it into my hand, we make it miraculously squeeze and jump over here, and then, boop, there it is, right down there. So we have the one rope, even though you just saw 4 ends. What? All right, so we'll do a slightly abbreviated version of that. So what we'll do now is we took the ends off. Wouldn't it be super cool if we could take the center off? Right, so hey, there we go. We'll put that back on right there. We will reach back and just make it that one long. So the neat part, and where I'll do our abbreviated version, we'll pull our third rope back into it, And well, we don't really have to prove this on the camera, but there's the short rope. There is the medium rope. There is our long rope. Dun, dun, dun. So what we'll do is I'll stick this rope right here, since I don't have anybody to help me right here. I'll put this rope right here, and I'll hold this rope. And what's really neat is I like to show that they all go back to their original sizes: the short rope, the crazy long rope, and our medium rope.
You recently performed on an HBO special, and Gracie and I performed on that series. We're going to show on the screen some flashback pictures. What was it like to go from live audience to television?
It was really crazy. I'm glad you asked about that. Number one, I was awestruck. Just John Goodman and all those people. And while we were practicing, while we were doing our stuff, they walked up and they stood there. And then they started laughing. And then we finished it. And they kept standing there because, well, and then we looked around at the choreographer and everything. Let's do it again for John Goodman. And then he went and got another guy and another girl, and they came by. And that was just super cool to be appreciated. It was funny at the same time. It was supposed to be serious at the time, but I think the whole show is about comic relief, really. People that I know Facebook messaged and stuff and said, "I just saw you," or "Were you on that episode of the Righteous Gemstones?" And I said, "I don't know what episodes I'm on." I tell you the truth, I really enjoyed what we did in the pilot more than what we actually did when we knew what was going on.
People are asking us, can Russell the Illusionist make the coronavirus disappear?
Maybe, because we're supposed to wash our hands and things like that. But, maybe if we got the virus right there on that finger or something like that, right? So.
We see that you have a home studio as well. We're both in front of curtain backdrops that are in our social distance home studios, and you're helping the virus disappear by providing illusion entertainment online. And I see you have a table behind you.
But yeah, I've got this neat thing right back here, and I'd like to show it to you. I actually do need everybody out there that's watching to wiggle your fingers. So I'll go over the table so we won't see so we won't have any wires, and we'll show that you can't see anything, that there is nothing there to make the box levitate. So while you guys at home, the ladies don't have to, but while everybody is at home wiggling their fingers, we're going to make this box levitate. Here we go. Oh my, you guys are really magical, because we're making a lot more than the box levitate. It's the whole table.
You are a performer whose faith is really important to you. How has your faith guided your career over the years?
Well, being an entertainer, being a performer, and things along those lines, and being a man of faith, I have always, if somebody asked me a question about my faith or what I believed in, or I would certainly share it with them. So I could take the things that I learned biblically and take a magic trick that I had or, hey, let's talking about money, or, different things along those lines, and make something disappear and tell a story, a biblical story with it. I try not to scare people with what I do, because when I got started, a couple of people did get scared. I do share my faith, but I try to be careful where I share my faith, and I try to be led to share my faith. And oftentimes, I feel like my God will put me in the right place to share my faith at the right time.
You're an example to a lot of young people. If for any young person that's watching, what is some wisdom that you would give them from your perspective
what I would tell kids, children, even adults, hey, I didn't get into magic until my late 20s. So saying all of that, follow your passions, follow your heart, follow your faith, and things will develop, things will grow. And the neat thing is I think that my son, my 10-year-old daughter, my wife even, can be an example of how our talents and our ideas grow. If you follow a passion, it will open doors.
Well, we really appreciate you talking with us. And if people want to find out about you, tell us again the website.
The website is SC, like South Carolina, SC Illusions with an S, SCillusions.com. Or look me up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all kinds of things. There have been some great magic people on TikTok, things that have blown my mind, and I've watched them 100 times trying to figure it out. So there's so much going on right now. It's just wonderful.